let's talk about those layer twos. We saw some of the tokens associated with layer twos also rally on the news of the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. What layer two tokens are you watching?
Yeah, that's right. We saw a lot of, I think the whole ecosystem really rallied after the Bitcoin ETF. It gave the whole industry some credibility, right? We're watching some of the big ones around, particularly Arbitrum. We're thinking about how to think about the optimism layer as well. Matic is a classic layer two, although it hasn't seen as much of a rally as the other ones have. I think one of the things, Coinbase stock is actually a good way to play layer twos right now as well, as Coinbase is not going to, it doesn't sound like Coinbase is going to come out with a base token, but the profitability of the base layer two will go directly into Coinbase stock. These are interesting in that they can be analyzed more like traditional financial instruments. They have a business model that is almost like a secondary market reseller. They take block space that they are purchasing on Ethereum and reselling it to layer two or secondary market users. And I think that's going to be really appealing to Wall Street going forward. The fact that some of the layer ones like Bitcoin have some sort of monetary value, they feel like gold, I think will give way to this very interesting, easy to analyze set of features on layer twos, and thus make them very appealing for Wall Street going forward.
On the topic of Coinbase's stock, we are waiting for a judge to make a decision on whether or not the case the SEC brought against Coinbase is going to get thrown out. If it doesn't, do you think that's going to have a bearing on the price of coin?
I mean, it'll have some bearing, but I think the fact that it's getting taken so seriously is very interesting. Generally speaking, getting these cases thrown out, my understanding is it's quite difficult and rare. However, the fact that it's getting so much airtime and that Judge Fela is taking it so seriously, I think is very revealing in terms of how contentious this case is. And even in her initial oral arguments, or in her response to the oral arguments, she showed a very good understanding of what the problems at stake are. I believe she said something along the lines of, I'm presented with the specter of collectibles being regulated by the SEC, which includes things like sneakers and trading cards and luxury watches. Like, it all feels very out of the purview of the SEC typically, but she has a very clear understanding that that's the slippery slope that she's standing on the precipice